Welcome to part 4 of Resident Evil 4. I've come back to the shooting range in order to get more tokens. With those tokens, I should be able to get more trinkets for the case. So I'm gonna start with challenge 2 here because I did challenge 1 in the previous part. So challenge 2 is gonna be with the sniper rifle, and I think it's actually easier with the sniper rifle than the pistol. In fact, I believe this is the only challenge that I S-ranked. The next challenge is going to be with the sniper rifle and the pistol, and I don't do nearly as good on that one. Alright, let's see. Here you gotta shoot the guys when they come into each other. Remember not to shoot the cordial looking sailors, only the pirates. More like a professional. Leon the professional. It's good to see that the remake still has that weird comedy that was in the original game. Not everything is dark. I mean, granted, the game is darker than the original, but still, it's still got the comedy where it needs to be. I'm trying to think. I think Resident Evil 2 or 3, one of their remakes was dark and no laughs at all. Or maybe it's the original Resident Evil remake. I remember that game being really scary. And I also remember Code Veronica being somewhat scary too. Mainly because of how hard that game was. That game was super freaking hard. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing a remake of Code Veronica. And maybe Zero, but then again I don't like Zero at all. Resident Evil Zero kinda sucks. So maybe in all actuality, Zero does need a remake because of how bad that game was. Alright, let's see here. All sailors were the pirates. And now that I think about it, Resident Evil Zero is the only game in the series that I truly don't like. And I like 6. Other people don't like 6, but I, for some reason, like 6. So yeah, it's just Resident Evil Zero. I don't like that game. I don't know, maybe I'm weird, I'm the weird one, but I just never got into Zero. Alright, that's all the challenges for now, but there will be more later. Alright, let's get some trinkets. Gonna use my 2 silvers and the only gold token that I have. Let's see what I get. I got a zealot with a scythe. That's gonna increase my chances of getting submachine gun bullets. I'm definitely going to need some SMG bullets for later down the road, so that's a welcome sight. And the next trinket is the soldier with dynamite. It increases your crafting bonus for attachable mines. And for the attachable mines, because that's a thing now. You can buy a weapon called the bolt thrower. It's your basic crossbow weapon, but you can also attach explosives to the tips of the arrows, provided you can get enough materials to craft explosives, which you will because this game is very generous. Oi, stranger, must you kick everything in sight? It's a kink I have, I must kick everything I see. Leon and his goddamn roundhouse kicks. I honestly don't even know which one's better, Leon roundhouse kicking everything or Chris punching a boulder. Actually, I'm gonna go with the boulder punch because that's just freaking insanity. Chris punching a boulder in a volcano. That moment is when Resident Evil jumped the shark. And yet, I still like Resident Evil 5 for how batshit insane it is. Somehow, but I still like it. It's probably because of the multiplayer. That's probably the only reason why I like Resi 5. But anyway, let's move on with the story and get to that boat. Damn. We're gonna need a bigger boat. In fact, no, let me just tell the president that his daughter's a lost cause. No, I'm kidding. Let's proceed with the story. Let's see. Oh, blue medallion. Pretty sure I could get it from here. No, somehow I missed it. Looked like it was dead on. Man, all the things Leon has to go through in this game, you better be getting paid double for this. In fact, I don't even know if Leon gets paid at all. He was pretty much forced to do this for some reason. The backstory mentions that it's because of his Raccoon City experience that he was chosen to do this, but I don't know. There might be something deeper. Oh, and I need oil for this. Shit. Yeah, I don't remember that plot point in the original game. I thought you just got in the boat and go. But oh well, it's something else to do in this. Now let me see if the Lago comes out. Apparently not. Okay, let me not test fate. Actually, no, I'm kidding. The Lago will come out. You just need to fire multiple rounds into the lake in order for it to eat you. Which also happens in the original. You fire too many rounds into the lake, Lago comes in and eats you alive. It's pretty freaking insane that they actually kept it in the remake, considering it's a non-standard game over, but the fact they did is pretty freaking insane. And you know, weirdly enough, in the remake, the Lago coming out is not as scary as in the original. In the original, that thing just comes up quickly and, oh, you're gone. Yep, you have to start over from a checkpoint, but in this one is like, the monster just slowly comes up, slowly eats you, and you don't even see Leon getting eaten. It's just, yeah, it's kind of lame. I probably would have preferred it better if the thing just quickly out of nowhere takes you under, like in the original, just to scare the crap out of you, but oh, I guess it was an artistic choice to have the thing slowly rise and then eat you. I mean, I'm not a horror director or anything. Yet. I mean, what? But, which one would you find scarier? Something that's fast moving or something that's very slow moving? Oh, God! Or just falling through planks.
God damn it.
My sentiments exactly. I'm not even sure if I ever heard Leon cuss this much before. Maybe he did a couple of times in the original, but not nearly as much as in this game. Ah! Oh man, the brute enemies are a force to be reckoned with. Good thing I have shotgun ammo. Okay, he's down. It seems like the war is just beginning. You can parry the hatches out of the air if you so choose, but I find it easier to just run away from them. I'm pretty sure you can still shoot the axes out of the air, but again, I either run away from them in a dodging maneuver, or I parry them if push comes to shove. You get a kick, and you get a kick. Everybody's getting kicks today. Except for you, you're getting the knife. Oh man, nobody's learning their lesson. You don't mess with Leon and his kicks. Get the machete out of here, this is not a butcher shop. Oh god, there's another one. They keep coming out of nowhere, damn. Back off, this is a hostile takeover. At least I can still make headshots like a pro. Sometimes. It wildly varies between I can get headshots left and right to why can't I shoot shit. This is one of the episodes where I can shoot like a pro though. Just wait until you get to the Los Illuminados enemies with yeah, those guys. The alien heads. That's gonna be a shit show. Mainly because they take 1,000,001 bullets to kill. But we're not at that point yet. And also these enemies still take 1,001 bullets to kill too. I just gotta wait for better weapons so I can tune those up and I'll be a badass. Just like Leon deserves to be, because Leon is my favorite character of all time. Well, at least in the Resident Evil series. Right next to Jill Valentine, I'm surprised these two characters have not shared screen time with each other yet. Come on Capcom, it's not too late to make that happen. Resident Evil 9. You could still get Jill and Leon into the same room as each other. I mean, you did it for Chris and Leon, why not do it for Jill and Leon too? That's team up of the century right there. I want to see that happen in the next game. But that's just me and my fan fiction. I don't know what Capcom's gonna do with Resident Evil 9. Who knows? Maybe they'll make a completely unrelated story about Rebecca. You know, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing that too, but no, I want to see the other characters. Bring Jill back. Bring Chris back. Well, Chris was in Village, but he was not a playable character. And he was kind of the antagonist of 8. So, yeah, bring Chris back in a playable form. And, hell, bring Leon back. Bring them all back, damn it. It would just be like Resi 6, except way better, hopefully. You know, honestly, I can see why people hate Resi 6, but I'm willing to give Capcom a million opportunities to make up for it. Is that the best you can do? Oh man, come on. You didn't even bring your A game.
Not bad, right?
Oh right, the thing. Gotta be sure to double tap, otherwise he'll come back stronger. And other than that brute enemy that was here earlier, the only other enemies here are villagers. And they're easy enough to take down. You want to be careful with this walkway. There is a tripwire here. I'm sure you can duck underneath that, but I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna go with my trusty kick combo. Un, deux, trois. Parrying in this game is awesome. If they make a Resident Evil 5 remake, they need to keep parrying as a thing because it's too good, man. It's too good. I mean, sure, the knife does have durability and it wears away each time you parry until it breaks, but you can increase the durability later on with a merchant. And not to mention that Leon is still just as capable even without the knife. I mean, come on, he's got his guns as well as his body to throw at people. And I'm serious about the body thing. I'm pretty sure he just straight up football tackled somebody at one point. Yeah, Leon's definitely a force to be reckoned with in combat. I'm not even sure if anybody else can beat him. Except for John Wick. Does Death Battle still on? Are they making new episodes? If so, make that a thing, Death Battle. Leon Kennedy versus John Wick. That probably will never happen, but I can dream, can't I? Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what else I can make. Oh, it's just pistol ammo. Okay, I'll just make more of that so I can free up space. And there are plenty of snakes in this area too, so if you're on that side quest where you have to get 3 vipers and sell it to the merchant, you're in luck. And you can also eat the vipers too. I did test out in a later part that you can eat the vipers and you don't even lose health, so I don't know why they mentioned poison glands. I mean, true to life, yeah, you do want to cut out the poison parts of a snake if you want to eat it, because that would suck if you do, but it doesn't really do much for your character. Other than the fact that you gain health, and that's really about it. And also, who the hell would want to eat a snake anyway? It's not like Leon can prep a fire and cook the damn thing. And even then, that would be pretty gnarly. Holy shit. We got explosive barrels, which I doubt these ones explode because they look empty. Or maybe they will, I don't know. The thing is, there's nobody here to test that theory. Anyway, the shack here has the gas for the boat. But first I gotta shoot the lock. There are also chicken eggs that you can find in various parts of the game. They make a return from the original. You got white chicken eggs, you got brown chicken eggs, which I don't think there's much of a difference between those two. And then you got the ever so elusive gold chicken egg.
This is what I'm talking about.
But now that we have the gas, we can now make it back to the boat. Oh wait, snake! Snake! Dun 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 dun. It was Capcom all along. Those bastards. Yeah, that's a matchup of the century. Solid Snake and Leon Kennedy? Come on. Death Battle, do something about that. Actually, no, on second thought, Snake would just utterly dominate Leon at that point. Solid Snake is just way too good. Snake's got the advantage of stealth. Leon sort of got stealth on his side too, but he's more of the brute force type of dude. Gesundheit. Now stop being an asshole and let me destroy this tripwire. I actually don't even know where the enemies are coming from, so that's the thing. Okay, they're mostly down there, so I'm safe for now, but I gotta hurry. Just keep running and don't look behind you. Or in front of you either. God, just don't look at all. And, oh god, they're blocking the way out. Okay, time to fight. Time for my amazing kick combos. Did I mention the sound design in this game is fantastic? The sound design in this game is fantastic. Not only do the kicks sound crunchy, but the sword slashes, or knife slashes rather, they sound very sharp. And the sound effects for the gore also sounds phenomenal. You got that signature squishing, crunchy sound too. Which honestly, the way I'm explaining it is really a kindergarten level. So you have to see the gore effects for yourself to believe how gross they are. And by extension, the remake is way, way bloodier than the original Resident Evil 4 by a long shot. By a country mile. And 3 generations and 18 years of graphical improvements. Yeah, what was I, 7? I think I just turned 7 because Resident Evil 4 came out in January. Yeah, back in 2005. That shit was wild, man. And I was excited because I'd never seen a game like Resident Evil 4 before, so I really wanted to play it. But I had a PS2, so I waited and waited and waited until Christmas of that year in order to play it. So all my friends with GameCubes got a chance to play it, but me. Oh great, the monster of the lake, Lago. He is much simpler to take down in the remake. You keep throwing harpoons at him and your boat has a health bar, so if that goes down, you die. And the good thing is you don't have to button mash in order to get back on the boat if you fall off. And even if you do fall off, I think you just die automatically, so they took the swimming part out completely, which I gladly appreciate because I always hated that part. I always hated this fight in the original version because it was just tedious. It was like you hit him a couple of times, he knocks you off, you have to swim back to the boat before he eats you. Lather, rinse, repeat is kind of like a JRPG fight, except nowhere near as fun. In the remake, everything is not as scripted. I mean, sure, the Lago still drags you about sometimes, but you won't get knocked into the water at least. Unless you actually lose health. That's his goal, Leon. That's his goal. The Lago looks like a mutated alligator in a remake. So this is what Leatherhead's been doing in his spare time. Ah crap, we're getting dragged around again. You want to watch out for all the islands and miscellaneous crap in the water that will cost you some health if you hit those. I think the damage value varies depending on what you hit. So if Lago hits you, that's a quarter of your health. If you hit an island, that's about 1/8 of your health, so not really that much. But you still have to be careful and not take any damage if you don't have to. Oh shit! Yeah, wait, that's not even really a quarter of your health. In all honesty, that probably should have just outright killed Leon. But this game is generous. And there are a couple of one-hit kills in this game, mainly with the Salvadors and the Bella sisters that we'll see later on, as well as a couple of other attacks too. But outside of chainsaws and tripwires and explosives, Leon is a very tough character. And so is Crocomire here. He's a tough cookie too. Where'd he go? There you are. My infinite harpoons just want to say hello. The Del Lago fight is actually fun now. So yeah, that's a point to the remake. Now smile, you son of a bitch.